Lantra now, Lantra has some pace. He's going to go straight outside, he's going to go all the way.
This is Harry Bandara. Runs around, what a brilliant try.
Draws and passes. Beautifully done. Yes, and Joseph's going in for the try, and it's a try.
සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අද විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය
Very good evening. Welcome to ThePapare.com. We are back after the break for the Singer Schools 2018 rugby tournament. St. Joseph's College taking on Kingswood College here at Havelock Park today. The Kingswoodians traveling down to Colombo to play against the Josephians, who have just come off a loss against Royal College before the break. What a game it was a couple of weeks back. Here's the St. Joseph's team at the moment warming up. They narrowly went down against the mighty Royalists, who have been excellent in this Singer Schools League 2018 so far. On the other hand, St. Joseph's College, Kingswood College have had a decent season, though they have lost to Royal College 29 points to 3 in that first game. Didn't come to terms in that first game. Now they're playing as a unit. Surprised Trinity College, won against St. Thomas's and also won against St. Anthony's College. So they have 2 wins under their belt coming into this big game against St. Joseph's. It's a very nice, beautiful conditions underfoot as well as above here at Havelock Park. As you can see, the ground is slowly building up. 30 degrees Celsius. That will tell on the Kingswoodians later on in the game. 11 kilometers per hour, the wind speed. Not much here at the Havelock Park today. And wind from north to east. A humidity of 77%, which will test the school from Kandy, who have traveled down, will have their work cut out today to come up against this mighty Josephians. Here's the Kingswood team warming up, just getting into their huddle, pre-match preparations, of course, as St. Joseph's are going through their phases as well. It's a very hot day here at Havelock Park today. Just before the break, we had some exciting rugby matches before the Urdu season. And this was one of those, Dharmaraja College versus DS Senanayaka. Dharmaraja College travelling down to Valisara to play that game against DS Senanayaka. Some spectacular tries scored in this match, high scoring game. Dharmaraja College have not come to terms this season so far. And then we had Isipatana versus St. Peter's College. That was here at the Havelock Park itself. St. Peter's College coming on top and remain unbeaten in that Group B of the A Division League Rugby Tournament. In the Singer Schools A Division League Rugby Tournament here at the same venue that we are in for today as well. Peters College looking solid, 15 points to 9 at half time. And then Isipatana College, very young team this year in the Singer Schools League for Isipatana. St. Peter's looks solid, 20 points to 14. Then came the big game, the clash of the champions they called it. St. Joseph's College, this was the first try. Lovely try to Piatis breaking through to Madhuranga, and he scored on the first touch, and the Josephians thought they had the game, but it was Royal College who scratched through. St. Joseph's College played tough, close, hard rugby. Good forwards play, lovely backs to back it up. 18 points to 13, that's how that finished. Then up in Kandy, we had the Canon RS Desarum Trophy. It was very muddy up in Pallakali, and Trinity College took on St. Thomas's College for that. And Trinity came on top. Just before the Bradby, they needed some confidence. Half time it was 13 points to 3. St. Thomas College had managed to score a couple of tries which would have delighted them, but Trinity had a bit too much class in them to overpower and retain the Canon RS Desarum shield up in Pallakele. 34 points to 24, how that finished. And then we had Zahira versus Wesley. Wesley College in their outing at Maradona at the Zahira College grounds. Wesley College under coach Paul Toya. We will be playing against Isipatana in this weekend's clash. This was the last weekend's. 19 points to 7 at half time. Wesley College leading. They went on to score with rain coming down here in Colombo. 26 points to 7. That's how that finished. And then we had the big game up in Nittavela for the all the Kendians. So much rugby players supplied through these two teams is Kingswood versus St. Anthony's. St. Anthony's looks solid in that first few minutes of the game, but then Kingswood College managed to come back in the end to score 27 points to 14. 12 all at half time. That's how that finished at half time. In the 35-minute mark, now that is according to the World Rugby Under 19 rules. And then Kingswood College came back strong in the second half to finish 27 points to 12 against St. Anthony's. So those were the highlights for the week before the break. And now we have the match against St. Joseph's College taking on Kingswood College, who had come down after a win up against their rivals in Kandy, St. Anthony's College. And it's going to be a tough game for Kingswood College traveling down the second time. Of course, they're traveling to Colombo. They played their first game against Royal, suffered a lot in that heat after the first half. Superb start they had, but then from there on they just dropped. And I think having more match practice and conditioning now, they should be okay for Kingswood College to put up a good show today against St. Joseph's. This was the previous week results. DS Senanayaka College beating Dharmaraja College 38 points to 10 with 6 tries and 4 conversions. And Royal College powering St. Joseph's 2 tries, 18 points to 13. That's how that finished. Trinity College retaining the Canon RS Desarum Trophy, the second successive year, 34 points to 24 up in Pallakele. Kingswood College beating St. Anthony's 27-12 at Nittavela. That was a very close one as well. And then St. Peter's taking on Isipatana 20 points to 14. And Wesley beating Zaida 26 points to 7. And that was last week's results in the Singer Schools Rugby League 2018. And then we have the points table for so far. This is Division 1A in the Singer Schools League Rugby Tournament. Royal College, the unbeaten team so far in this pool, topping the group with 4 wins and 23 points, 3 bonus points. They've been a very good solid team, much compared, saying like they are a club team. St. Joseph's 4 just going down to Royal College. Kingswood College losing to Royal again, and these two mid-table clash for 2 and 3. The second place spot in this division will be confirmed today in about an hour and a half's time. Trinity College finishing 4th. They'll have their match against Royal tomorrow, and that will decide the Bradby first leg as well as the league, how they stand. St. Anthony's and St. Thomas's unfortunately will have to settle for the plate championship. This is Division 1A of Singer Schools Rugby League points table. Royal College topping it off, of course. And then we have Division 1B, where St. Peter's College are holding the top spot, followed by Isipatana. As this was the top point scorer, Royal College 40 points, and Gamunu Chetia with the top try scorer with 7. Tulan Gunawardana is safe as a house in the number 15 jersey for Royal College. Slots some beautiful conversions off the boot, nice and balanced, good kick, and Gamunu Chetia, very hard runner in that center for St. Joseph's College. So 2 teams today will have their work cut out today, as you can see the Kingswood team now warming up, as well as the St. Joseph's College team under coach Nilufer Ibrahim. As we spoke of, the only test that Kingswood College will have, it's a talented team, Kingswood College, from that fly half position where they have Senviratna, who is very capable player at fly half, number 10. Beautiful to watch, a typical number 10, kicks off both feet, gains a lot of distance, and the powerhouse on top is the prop forward of Chandratna. So they'll have their work cut out with their skipper Valley Gampula. And of course for St. Joseph's College, it's going to be a very emotional game, since they're coming back after a hard fought loss, and the break would have done only good for St. Joseph's College, for them to come back from that mental stress that they had to face on a packed stadium here at Havelock Park a couple of weeks ago. And there's Walpola, the forwards coach, getting their line out sorted. Santosh Algama, the skipper, at 10. He'll have his work cut out. Sean Akila was very quiet against Royal College. He will have his work, he'll have to improve his work in today's game with Gamunu Chetia in that 12 and 13. That's where the match will be won or lost. They're so strong, as the crowd nice and slowly building up here at Havelock Park. A lot of Josephians, of course, following their team this year. High hopes for them to finish top in the Singer Schools League, of course. And there are a couple of coaches that have traveled down from Kandy for Kingswood College, who will support their team as well. So it's nice and slowly building up here at Havelock Park. Hope we'll have a packed house today. Samisha Viranga, of course, today. Big news coming out of the Joe's camp. That will be very interesting to see how that goes as we bring the team card on in a little while. We'll confirm that to you, that if it's a tactical change or an injury change that coach Nilufer Ibrahim has made, and build that cross. Here's the Kingswood contingent that we were talking about. Always carry this blue and maroon flag wherever they go behind this team. Of course, Kingswood has produced legends of Sri Lankan rugby, and one of them is Nilufer Ibrahim, who's coaching the St. Joseph's team today. He has been a very successful coach in the school's arena. Coach Kingswood College, Coach Trinity, went to Isipathan, and now here at St. Joseph's he is. And Army Sports Club under him last year was doing very good. Here's Kingswood College and also St. Joseph's College putting their final touches in their warm-ups. This is Nilufer Ibrahim, former Kingswoodian, will be playing up against his own school and trying to get things right. Just running through their set pieces, wants it solid before they start today. Kingswood College, St. Joseph's College rather. Running through their strides, and Coach Devanand, he'll have his work done as well with the backs and a bit of kicking. Of course, they have Nalaka Virakodi as well in their setup. So it's a very nice structure for St. Joseph's College as they march towards the center of the field as they have done before. Just as a pre-game routine, have the huddle at the center of the field with Nilufer Ibrahim giving those last instructions, the pep talk, and then reminding them the game plan of what they have to do, how they have planned for this game, what they need to have to execute today. Make sure they tick all those boxes. And the Josephians walk into their dressing room to get their jerseys on. We'll be kick off in a bit. We'll be getting the team cards out in a bit, and the Josephians will. This is testing times for them. They have been on a high, couldn't stay on top, going down against Royal College a couple of weeks before. Now they have to come back strong to stay in contention in this league. This is where they will be tested, because there can be other results which can give an opportunity for St. Joseph's College to come on top in the league. So they can't let go the fight. As we spoke, the crowd is slowly building up. A lot of Josephians, Kingswood College, of course. Parents, old boys, all of them is coming here to support their team. Junior players have just finished their games. That's always a lovely feeling, isn't it, to go back and sit with your parents after a game. Kingswood College. Conditions perfect today. Here's the Josephian team card. The front row for today: Tiraka Santosh, Sonal Damien, Siobhan Gregory. That'll be the front row today, where the home team, the Josephians, will take on. And then we have Nimesh Kavinda and Nishan Pereira in the locks. Kavinda, of course, Ishara Pereira, of course, 6'3", 93 kilograms. A very mobile second row for St. Joseph's coming in. And then the back three: Shehan Kalniagoda, Vihanga Pereira, and Tarindu Dialvis. What a player. He has been 91 kilograms at number 8, has had some dashing runs. And then we have the halves combination for today is Rashan Gunavardhana, the experienced Rashan Gunavardhana for St. Joseph's, along with Samisha Viranga, the skipper, at 9 and 10. And then the centers, Shan Akila and Gamunu Chetia, the dangerous center pair for St. Joseph's College. And then the back three at the end, Dulanjana Piyathisa, what a start he had against Royal College, with Tarindu Maduranga, the only touch that he scored for the try against Royal. From there, these two players, Keshan Kavinda and Tarindu Maduranga, have been very quiet. Joining me on the commentary box is Shanaka Amarasinghe. Good evening, Shanaka. It's a big game.
Good evening, Dinuk. Yes, it is a big game because it is the battle for second place in this league, and here are the Kingswood College players lining up: Milan Veerasinghe, Ilam Jalil and Rasmika Chandraratna in the front row. Lots of weight in that front row, 110 Ks from the big prop. Shanuka Gedragoda and Chatra Soiza will be the second row combination. Not much height there, and they will need to compete well in the lineouts because that's one area they can press St. Joseph's. Avishka Purnadij, Shanuka Gedragoda and Janita Rajanayaka also in the third row. So look for that big powerful number 8 off the back. He's had a few good runs this season, and he'll be looking to do the same today as well. The halves combination: Hirusha Netmina and Asiri Seneviratna. Look for Seneviratna to take it to the line. He's a dangerous ball runner, and he can cause a few problems for defenses, keep them guessing a little bit with his stepping ability at the number 10 jersey. Sachinta Seneviratna and Shazman Rahman in the centers for Kingswood College. They will be up against a very experienced pair, as you rightly said, Dinuk. So we'll wait and see how they will come up. They'll just have to concentrate on their defense today, this center combination. And the back three, Tumula Waligampala, Dinal Ekanayak and Dhananjay Nuwan. Expect something from Waligampala today. He's been among the tries as well, and Dinal Ekanayak to join the line, form an overlap against his dangerous Joe's team. 3 versus 2, Dinuk, everything for Kingswood College to play for. St. Joseph's know that they can't afford another. Has had a few games, some crunch games in this competition. Will this be another one for him? Kingswood College in their bright red. It's good to see them back in this this forum of rugby, isn't it, Dinuk? They've had a few seasons languishing in the B division. They came back with that massive win against Wesley in the Blase Trophy last year, and it's good to see them where they belong.
Yeah, exactly. This is where they belong, because they have proved themselves over and over again in the years that they can be in this top division because of the talent they have. Here's a dangerous situation for Kingswood College.
Piyathisa with the touch from Rashan Gunavardhan, who swings it wide, and here's a little bit of space now opening out immediately. That's Gamunu Chetia bundled into touch, and you can see 5 Kingswood players around him. They know how dangerous he is, and they've just told him where they think he's going to run as well. So good aggression early on, but kicking to that back three of St. Joseph's, that's going to be something that they've got to watch out.
Yeah, exactly. And Sampath there, Hirusha Sampath had enough time to put that ball into touch, and the amount of meters he gained, but he's kicked straight in to the hands of the Josephian back three. The line out has been stolen on live play.
Taken into the tackle by Kavinda Keshan, who has been quiet since those amazing tries against St. Thomas's in the first week of the season. That's a long ball over the top for St. Joseph's. Piyathisa joining the line and managing to free things up for his outside backs there. Taken into the contact by St. Joseph, spread it completely wide from left-hand touchline to right-hand touchline. Here's Tarindu Alves bumping it straight up the middle. Santosh, and a lot of space on the outside, but choosing to cut back in is a Josephian player. Manages to stay in the field of play, but they've managed to turn it over, Kingswood, and this is good work from them in defense. Was it carried back? Yes, it was. and they will probably have to go all the way back to where it was kicked out from. So just a little bit of a loss in concentration for the Kingswoodians there, but good attacking intent from St. Joseph's.
Yeah, that is where the strength lies for this team, the Josephian team, up against the Kingswoodians is in attack. And if Kingswood can hold on, and with the likes of Asiri Seniviratne and Hiroshi Sampath, who can have that long boot, can use both feet, will come in handy later on for Kingswood. They just need to hold on to this Josephian attack.
The Alvis going round the corner there and just popping the ball infield, but not finding his intended runner. But St. Joseph's winning that line out again. Although there might have been an interference in the air, Fernando has his hand out for a penalty. Gunawardena to Algama on the angle, coming in nicely is Samisha Viranga. Still available, this good quick ball, but Kings would have drifted well. Piatissa brought down short of the try line. St. Joseph still have the ball in hand though. And Kingswood defense survive once again. They'll know Piatissa from his early days, this Kingswood team. They'll know how dangerous he is. And good marshalling of the defense there by Seniviratne, Asiri Seniviratne in the number 10 jersey for Kingswood, managing to make sure that they drift across. You see, they're not committing too much, just making Piatissa run into no space.
And this time getting the line out right, but popping off in the end.
And that's a bad mistake. So 3 lineouts, and they've conceded 3 errors so far. The penalty that referee Fernando didn't give because the advantage came. And the first and third lineouts on their own ball, they've coughed it up now. Kingswood, they've got to be better at this. St. Joseph's through Gregory, trying to power their way over the line. It's a ball available for number 4 from St. Joseph's, Vishwa Pereira. Just short. Reshan Gunawardena calls D'Alvis. D'Alvis tries to go over from short distance, just short of the line again. Here it is, surely. Just short. Fernando right on the spot. He can see the ball. And it looks like Kingswood have just put a hand in there and dragged this one back. Rashan Gunawardena still manages to get a hold of it, and that's great defense. Outstanding defense by Kingswood, coming back and managing to make sure that ball gets dislodged from the outside player. But they come back for the penalty.
A very interesting penalty. That Kingswood player was lying right in front of the goal post where Rashan Gunawardena tried to score that try. If you touch the pads, it's a try. Once again, they're going very close to that try line. Have they scored? Have they touched down? Still held up. Kingswood College holding on against. Now it's danger time.
Great line speed again from Tumula Valigampala. Really lined up the ball receiver. Rashan Gunawardena will go again. Here's Tiraka Santosh. Gunawardena now opts to spin it wide. Santosh Algama to Chetia. Gamanu Chetia spins out of one tackle, but holding on to his ankle was Asiri Seniviratne. It looks like Chetia got lucky there for not holding on, and that's a good try from St. Joseph's. It was a long time coming, but they were always in control. And it looks like it's Kavindu Keshan who scored that try. Yes, it is Kavindu. He's opened the scoring more times than this for St. Joseph's. Just having a look at his opposite wing three-quarter, Shan Akila. That's Gamanu Chetia. They needed to hold on to him there. Dragged down in the end by Sampath. And there's where I thought he got away with it, Dinuk. We saw Ekanayaka on the ball. Looked like he was trying to snaffle it away, and that Gamanu Chetia was holding on, but he got away with that one, and Kavindu Keshan profited.
Yeah, very lucky for Gamanu Chetia that there was clear daylight in between where Ekanayaka went right on top of that ball. Good body position. But Chetia was just 2 seconds or second before that referee Rohan Fernando decided that it should be a penalty, released the ball and came out good for St. Joseph's College. So they scored their first try. As you said, it was coming. Kingswood College were holding on to this for some time, trying to frustrate the Josephians. Now they will know it's not going to be an easy walk in the park today for St. Joseph's. This Kingswood team can do something with ball in hand. How will they come back will be interesting.
Yes, they'll need to get a hold of the ball first, and if they're not doing it in their line out, they're going to have a bit of a problem. This is what we talked about just before kickoff as well, as Algama lines this up. It's a pretty good kick, and it's an excellent kick, in fact. So 7 points to start off with. Santosh Algama from the left-hand touchline converts Kavindu Keshan's try, and St. Joseph's lead by 7 points to nil. Kingswood College will have to come back and make sure that the Joes don't get too far ahead if they want to keep in touch.
Yes, an interesting choice as well. Santosh Algama coming at 10 today. Samisha Viranga going to the bench. He'll come on later. As Kingswood College make another mistake, but played on by Madhuranga.
Airfield rugby from Kingswood so far. Again, that was clearly offside, but referee allowing play to go on. Kingswood now approach the 22-meter line that you can see on the bottom of your screen. Taken forward by Gedaragoda. Going short side. This is Rajanayaka carrying the ball in. Again, it's a predictable play from Zoisa that time, who was the ball runner. Again, they are going short side. Managing to get the ball away was Chandraratna, the big man. Stepping back in field. This is a good run from the Kingswoodian. Here's Chandraratna again. They've made 10 meters in this fashion. They'll want to make 12 more. Coming into the fray was Purnajit, who was standing outside, but Chandraratna does well to offload once again. He's got some skills, the big man. Good clean out from Kingswood, and now a little bit of space opening up, but bundled into touch. That was a good run from Dinal Ekanayaka on the short side, and Chandraratna doing his job, but the touchline just coming to the aid of St. Joseph's.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Rohan will come back to the TMO to see that. Here's the replay. The player was complaining that he had scored the try. Looked like if we can make that a bit more slower, it'll be very interesting. Yes, there you go, the TMO coming into play now, Shanaka. I think that's a very good call by Rohan.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent call by Rohan Fernando. Remember, the corner flag is not in the equation anymore. Previously, if you touch the corner flag, you are out. But now that corner flag is not part of the field of play anymore. So if he touches it, he's fine. It's just whether his leg was grounded over the line. Shamrat Fernando, very experienced official, as our TMO today. So this could be an important moment in the game for Kingswood to hit back immediately. Here's the short side. This is the angle we need to see. Chandraratna cleans out there nicely. Scrum half just pops the ball there. That's Dinale Ekanayaka. Steps back inside and then goes back outside. Let's watch his boot on the touchline. I think that's a try. I think that's a try for all money.
Yeah, he scored and went out, isn't it? I think it will be one of those easiest calls to TMO Shamrat to make. And what a comeback by Kingswood. They used the short side, saw there was overlaps, never wanted to give that ball out to score that to Ekanayaka, Dinal Ekanayaka, but in the end they managed to get a couple of offloads, and there came the try for Kingswood.
Yeah, it was a very clear policy, wasn't it? They didn't want to get entangled in that big midfield of St. Joseph's, so they kept coming to the short side, and Chandraratna, let's not discount his work in that try. He managed to do a few carries and offload nicely as well. So it's nice to see a big prop forward with so much skill. So that's a very good try for Kingswood to start off with.
Yeah, Chandraratna has been having a good season, had a very good opener against Royal in that first half. And this is where Kingswood will be tested, is after the 35-minute mark. That's where they went down against Royal College. But this Kingswood team, they were making this team up for about 2 years, and they're capable of going up against big teams. They beat Trinity this time and they beat St. Anthony's, so they are the best team in Kandy this time, coming down after a very long time. A Kingswood team is coming on top. It's nice to see if they can continue.
Well, Sri Lanka's best player of the recent past, easily, Fazil Marija. He's an old boy of Kingswood. He'll be proudly watching this, I'm sure. Seeing a comeback from his team into the A division, and what a comeback it has been. They'll need to come back into this match though, because it's 7 points to 5, and they'll need to make sure that although they defend heartily, that they got to be able to win the ball back in this game. So the lineouts are going to be something that Coach Ibrahim will need to think about.
As you said, if Fazil Marija is watching, he'll be watching from Wales. So hi from ThePapare.com to Marija and his family, who have just gone up for a visit up in Wales.
Well, that's an interesting part of the world, coming from Kandy to Cardiff. Kandy is much prettier city, I'll tell you that much. Ball just bouncing out of the advancing fullback's hands, and who's on the spot again is Chandraratna. This time his tight head partner Veerasinghe takes it forward. Chandraratna points to the open side this time. Just a little bit of a kick through. It's a well-placed kick as well, because it forces Dulandana PHS just to go one way. Here's Shan Akila. Penalty coming from referee Rohan Fernando. We'll see that again. And he said that the hands were on the floor from the Kingswood player who tried to turn the ball over.
A very interesting call, isn't it, Shanak? You don't see this call made much in the international arena. One thing is, yes, they are very technical when it comes to how they play the game, but the other hand, the material impact comes into question. If there is no opponent coming into counter ruck in that area, and if there is clear daylight, I think you should let it go.
Yes, if there's clear daylight and you haven't prevented somebody else from getting their first Dinuk, I think that's what needs to be asked. But I think referees here, generally as soon as they see it, they blow it up. They don't really consider what the other aspects of the offence were. So justice may seem to be done there, as St. Joseph's coughed that ball up, and taking it forward strongly is Rajanayaka. They'll come back for the knock-on though.
Problems still continue in set pieces for St. Joseph, especially in the line-out. That's where they lost the game against Royal College a couple of weeks ago, and it continues. Warm-ups, they were doing a lot of line-out drills today, but yes, I think they would have worked, but it's not an easy thing to fix overnight, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's something that gets fixed in the off-season. Dinuk, and you can see the hooker as well as he threw it. You can see his body just going with the ball, because he's not sure as to whether he's going to find its target or not. And when you've got someone in two minds like that on the field, you know that you need to do a little bit more on the preparation side of things. Coming off the back was Veligampala, but runs straight into Russia and Gunawardena, who's not allowing him any further than the gain line. Veerasinghe. So Kingswood using their big props to good advantage, and as I say that, Chandraratna leaves it behind. So that's a bad error from the prop who've been singing the praises of. But to be fair to him, the pass was not entirely in the breadbasket.
Yes, exactly. And also, if you see, Shanaka, they're using the shorter side a lot more than we have seen how they work. Normally, Kingswood College, they love to spin the ball out wide to Asiri and Valigampala. But today, they've noticed something in the Josephian defensive line, and they're just coming two passes in, then they try to use the short side. Will be very interesting to see if they can exploit that. Here's St. Joseph's now.
Yes, Piatissa. No, didn't pass. Needed to pass that one. Held on to it, but manages to free the ball. Up again, Russia and Gunawardena sniping around. Here's the number 14, Shan Akila, with the headband today. Russia in now. Players crossing in front of the ball carrier, but the referee saying that's perfectly fine because they weren't preventing a tackle being made. Gunawardena now. Stepping back inside. Kingswood competing nicely for the ball, but it was a good clean out by Tarindo Alves. A nice little step, great short pass there, but again, Keshan Kavinda just runs out of space. So St. Joseph's going laterally, Dinuk, a lot. I mean, they're using the pass to spin the ball out wide, but they're not really straightening the attack.
Yeah, one thing why they're doing that is because of the Kingswood defense. They're coming up in a straight line and then pushing them to the corner. You can see how many players there once again, Kingswood College. They're not making their tackle. They're not rushing up for the tackle. They're just showing that defensive wall in front of them, which makes St. Joseph's to run across looking for space.
Nicely taken that time by Soisa. And it was dragged down, so referee Fernando will have his arm up for a penalty. Asiri on the left foot this time. Ball bouncing over the head of Dulanjana Piatisa, and he gets smashed in the tackle from the Kingswood fly half, but referee will come all the way back. So that's good advantage play. He saw that nothing was coming of that, and he comes all the way back to give Kingswood the penalty advantage for a pull down.
And just for a moment I thought it was advantage over that he called and let it play, but then Rohan calling back. He's ThePapare.com now on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can also advertise with us on all these platforms with ThePapare.com now on social media. So if you're interested in advertising as well, you can call on 777-333-228 and also follow the action on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as well.
Dinal Ekanayaka, the fullback for Kingswood, has been kept busy. Veerasinghe, the big prop to throw in. Looking for the pod in the middle. That's a nice line out ball. Won once again by Soisa. The passing out is not as crisp as they would have liked to, but here's a spin out of the tackle by Rajanayaka, who's been used as a ball carrier. And here's a little bit of space opening out. Nice shoulder into the contact there by the Kingswood winger, but well stolen there by St. Joseph's. So strong in the contact, these Josephian players. Their backs are really playing like forwards. Gunawardena trying to make the most of the turned over ball. Dummies and goes, manages to get the pass away. Nice clean out again by the Josephians. Their clean out has been very precise so far. Here's Tiraka Santush. He knows only one way, and that is straight up the middle. Gunawardena now to Piatissa. Piatissa stepping back in off the left foot, and now he's got a pass out to Keshan Kavinda. Can he reach to the line? Yes, he can. Keshan Kavinda with a double already. And Dulanjana Piatissa this time not botching the overlap, manages to get his winger into space, and the turnover ball resulting in a score.
Yeah, this is where St. Joseph's are dangerous in counter-attack, isn't it? Just about 3 phases after turning over the ball, they end up scoring on the other side of the park. Yes, all credit goes to Dulanjana Piatissa this time for making that pass. Before that, it was Tiraka Santush who took the ball into contact. Here's Rashan Gunawardena. This is just after Tiraka Santush crashed. Dulanjana Piatissa, they are sucked in 3 players and one-on-one situation with Dinal Ekanayaka. Keshan Kavinda is just too good to score that try.
He's got a great fend, doesn't he, Dinuk? He's got that nice strong fend, and he doesn't wait for the player to catch up to him. He uses that as a real accelerating tool as well. So a good try from Keshan Kavinda. He had a lot to do when he got the ball from Dulanjana Piatissa, and he managed to do it beautifully. Good fend, good strength, good speed.
Always good to have a wing like that, and Josephians have 2 of them. Good charge down, very good charge down there by the Kingswoodian. That's Hirusha Sampath is a lively character, isn't it, as all scrum halves are, but this guy has a bit more in him.
And that's the important aspect of just not staying out of the game, isn't it, Dinuk? Because that 2 points could come back to bite them later on. So it's a really important thing. It lifts teams as well. This time they get the restart over the 10-meter line. Smashing it up is Shamin Eranga. Shehan Eranda rather. Ball knocked forward at least a second time by Kingswood, but the referee says it went back. Now a little bit of room for Piatis. Steps out and now finds Rashen Gunawardhan as a willing runner. Nice step back against the grain by Rashen. Good tackle that time made by Valigampola. Yes, Taridu Dialvis opts to go to Siobhan Gregory. Good placement by Gregory that time in the tackle. Sean Akila now, and here's a little bit of space opening up. Dragged down in a tackle by Purnachit that time. Good run by the Josephians. Taridu Dialvis now, he's dangerous, straightening up. And that's an excellent tackle once again by Shazan, the centre. Rashen. Gamunu Chetia, that's a lovely ball, but unfortunately just doesn't go to hand, and he's opening up now. Kingswood don't have the pace to go all the way. Keshan coming with an excellent cover tackle, drags the ball down as well. And that is some fantastic technique. Outstanding tackle technique from Keshan Kavinda, and unfortunately for the Kingswoodians, Gunathilaka just didn't have the pace. That's the pickup, and he's playing on the wing. Needed to get the ball away about now, but unfortunately for him, ran away from the defense. And what stunning technique in the cover tackle from Keshan Kavinda.
Yeah, good chase. And more importantly, he knocked the ball down, which will gain them position once again. But on the wing, looks like he's the original scrummer who's playing on the wing for Kingswood College. There's one Valigampola missing in this lineup today.
Well, I would think a regular winger would probably have gone all the way there. But there's an interesting new interpretation of the rule, isn't it, Dinuk, that if it's knocked down by the tackling player, that it won't be deemed as a knock-on by the ball carrier. So that's a nice ball out from Dulanjana Piatis again. Sean Akila dragged down. They can't kick the ball out of the ruck, Ekanayaka, so he's got to be careful. It wasn't a ruck though. Hadn't been formed yet, so Ekanayaka has been kept busy. Plenty of work for him to do with this dangerous Josephian back three there. Kicking the ball a little too much into the hands of Piatis, Dinuk, and he's making a lot happen from the back.
Yeah, exactly. I think they would have noticed this if they watched the Royal game. That first time they kicked the ball to Piatis and it was a try. From there on, Royal didn't kick. And I think that was a lesson that has to be learned by Kingswood College sooner rather than later. If they keep on kicking, the more points that they will be conceding, disrupting in front of the line out once again.
Veerasinghe now, barging through. Does well to hold on to the ball. Thought about the offload for a moment. And now, long kick up to the danger man. Here's Piatis again. He has plenty of touches in this first half so far. Madhuranga held up in defense. Good commitment in the tackle from Gedaragoda. That's a lovely run by Tiraka Santosh, giving front foot ball to his forwards. St. Joseph's just slowing it down a little bit. Taridu Dialvis now. Great leg strength from the number 8. Nice ball over the top. Keshan Kavinda, but just dragged into touch. Beautifully done that time by Shazan, who's shown some good technique in defense.
Yes, and they're using this touchline for good effect, letting that about just at 2-3 meters, showing the ball carrier to that he can run on that touch line, and then just pushing the Josephians out into touch. Not the first time, it's about the third time now they have done that. But you can see hands on hips already of the Kingswoodians. This is where they will be tested. Here's the replay once again. Keshan Kavinda, look at that, just letting him, showing that space on the outside to run, and then putting him in out to touch.
Yes, good drift defense from the Kingswoodians. The one time they didn't execute it properly was when Piatis cut back inside and put Kavinda away for that try. And they will be told by their coaches, concentrate, 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 because that's such a difficult thing to do, to maintain discipline, to drift. Josephian player down, and the doctors having a look at him. Can't see who it is at the moment. We'll tell you as soon as we know. But an entertaining game of rugby so far. 25 minutes gone, Dinuk, and although it's 12-5 to St. Joseph's on the scoreboard, Kingswood have been in this.
Yeah, they have been, and they have been throughout this season a good first half team. And if you see the structure, the players that they have good talent. If they have put a good structure in place as well in terms of game plan, trying to use the short side, exploiting the Josephian defense on that part of the field, but just kicking into Pietis's hand has haunted them so much, and one of those reasons why it has gone up to 12 points.
I think that was Dulanjana Pietis actually who's being stretchered off. He may have hit the back of his head when he was dragged down in that tackle. You can see him on the bottom of your screen there in that replay. So that's going to be a big loss for St. Joseph's because he was initiating a lot from the back. So it's a fortunate injury for the Kingswoodians if they can exploit it, but I'm sure he will be back after he gets an HIA. That's a better line out from Kingswood. Now a little bit of space, Ekanayaka into the line. Rajanayaka, who's been used as a ball carrier in midfield. Here's a little bit of space now. Here's the ball in for Gedaragoda, the second rower. Good tackle there by St. Joseph's on Sampath. In from the side, says referee Fernando. And Sampath gets away with that one a little bit, I thought.
Yes, the change has been made. It's Imesh Disanayak who has come in place of Tulanjana Pietis, and Gamunu Chetia moves to full back. So again, if you kick to Gamunu Chetia, it'll be another threat coming at you. But in the meantime, if you see Kingswood now, Shanaka, they're just slowing down. Not how they started. But still, with the players that they have, if they slow down and play the type of rugby they're not used to, I would say. The Kingswoodians normally used to play that fast, open-paced rugby. If they can play, put in a structure, use their forwards to good effect, they can rattle the Josephians. That's where Royal won.
Well, they mustn't forget that they got their first try by just keeping it with the forwards and gaining those inches rather than those miles. Nicely done in the line-out. Their line-out has improved tremendously over the course of the game. Zoisa once again winning that one, just breaking through. That's an outstanding little bit of work from Seniviratna. Seniviratna looks inside. Gamunu Chetia makes the tackle. Lovely pass for Rajanayaka, who knocks on in the face of the try line. And what an unfortunate knock on that was. Rajanayaka smiles wryly to himself, but it was there for all money for the taking. I thought Seniviratna should probably just have held on to that ball, and they may have been in. You can see his hands on the head for Rajanayaka. A lovely run here. Just stepping out of the tackle. Falling away from Madhuranga's tackle as well. Seniviratna just looking for support. Gamunu Chetia shows him the outside and just manages to get him. That's a lovely tackle there.
Yeah, again, that rule coming into play. The tackler disrupting the ball. But if you see Seniviratna and Gamunu Chetia, they were just perfect fullback defense, isn't it? Chetia opening up with his right shoulder, knows when to go to the tackle, opening up both sides. If Asiri would have stepped back in, it would have been an easy turn for his right shoulder to put on. If it would have gone to his left, he would have just drifted him down to the touchline. But did he have enough ground to cover up? Will be a question mark, but Gamunu Chetia is no stranger to that fullback position, playing already last year.
Yes, he's played there before, so he knows how to defend, which lines to hold, and I think he saved his side there, definitely. May even be a better defender than Dulanjana Pietis. Shanakila, he has a bit of space on the outside. Once again, the Kingswood drift defense holding strong. Keshan Kavinda. Referee has his arm out for an advantage. We'll have a look at that one again. Talking about the tackle there, Rasha and Gunawardana. Oh, that's good work to stay in the field of play from St. Joseph's. Outstanding bit of work there by the number 13. That was Chetia. Stepping back inside. Again, the tackle going a little bit on the high side. And the referee stopping the game for the knock forward. But he might go back to have a chat with his assistant. We'll try and show you that tackle again. What they were looking at.
If it was a call, I think it was no arms in that tackle. That would have been a call, but I thought he just stick out his left hand around, wrapped him up. We'll see that replay once again. It was not high, for sure. You can have the replay on that.
Yes, that would be good if we could show you a replay of exactly what the issue was. Yes, you can see the referee showing no arms there. Needs to wrap the arms around. Watch this tackle here. Not this one, it's the one coming up. Thought that was absolutely perfectly fine. We're not playing netball here. He did use his arm. He led with his arm. And that's not a good call from the touch judge.
Yeah, not at all. First sight, it was very clear that he had the arm around. That's how the game is officiated. Mahanonu and Patrick Tuipalutu will be out every time they do that.
Yep, there's plenty of players on the international scene who won't see the dressing room at halftime if that was how you're not supposed to make a tackle. So fortunate for Joes that they managed to get themselves up the field. They will be telling themselves it's poetic justice, although it's a fortnight too late. Better line out ball for St. Joseph's that time. Now they set up the maul, but good defense from Kingswood. Now they've got a march on. Good work from St. Joseph's now. Just driving this one forward. Kingswood need to make a decision to either drag it down or defend it properly. They've conceded the penalty. Straight through the middle goes Shanakir with a lovely offload. Madhuranga just can't get away. Rasha and Gunawardhana directing traffic behind the breakdown. Calling on Cheka Jayawardhana. Pick and go from Nehan Pereira. Gregory now goes the opposite way. Beautifully done that time from Thiraka Santosh, doubling up with his other forward runners. You can see that St. Joseph's have got this in their armory now. Tackle made that time by Tarindu Veligampala, just near the gain line. Another penalty coming for St. Joseph's, not sure what for exactly. Straight through, and that's Santosh Algama who goes over for the try. And it was always coming once St. Joseph's did their pick and go. We got some big forwards in that pack. And they made a big difference with Santosh Algama taking his chances with the defense stretched and blazing through under the posts.
Yeah, good patience shown there by the Josephians. Just kept Kingswood College on their check all the time. Here's Santosh Algama just showing going after so much hard work his forwards put in for that try, and in the end he gains the reward of getting the 5 points, and even can be 7 because it's under the post and he'll be kicking it. Once again, very interesting breakdown calls, isn't it, Sharaka? Sometimes you can see there's clear daylight in between the supporting player and also the player who's trying to turn over the ball from the opposition. Just touch and go, those calls.
Yeah, really is. And sometimes when a defensive player gets into a good position, you've got to reward him as well. But unless, of course, they've got there illegally, the Josephian crowd very happy. But a costly interpretation of a no-arms tackle there for St. Joseph's. 7 points for Kingswood, in fact. 7 points it cost them.
Yeah, it did. And even on the first sight, I saw it right in front of us. There was no problem. It was that impact that made it a bit too bad. That impact, it was a very strong tackle made clearly onto the rib cage. We're very unfortunate for Kingswood letting away 7 points. Updates, photos, reports, Facebook Live on ThePapare. All the under 18, under 14 games you can catch live action, photos. So the youngsters are also exposed now of what they do on the rugby field. It's a very good thing with the ThePapare coming in place.
Veerasinghe with a big bust up the middle. Zoisa trying to go down the short side. This is where they had a bit of success early on and scored their only try. Here is again Valigampala, the big number 8. Not getting up ahead of steam. Arsiri now. Nice step off by Shazan. That's a lovely offload to Seniviratna. Seniviratna's going all the way. Is he? Yes, he is. What a brilliant offload by Mohammad Shazan to his scissoring centre partner Sachinta Seniviratna, who slices through all the way. And the gods have smiled on Kingswood and evened up that injustice that we saw here in the commentary box, and it's surely going to be another 7-pointer for Kingswood. What a try it was.
Yeah, if we were talking about Shah Nakila and Gamunu Chethi, how brilliant their center combination. Look at this for Kingswood. Sidestep off the left. Whoa, what a pass that was. Just turning around off the tackle, just falling down past that ball to Seniviratna. He just had the pace to go around or just run straight into the try line. Gamunu Chethi had a bit too much to do covering him up. But this centering pair is a threat now for the Josephians, and they will have their work cut out in defense as well. If there is some miracle balls like this going into hand and running lines that like that with Arsiri as your fly half, it's going to be exciting times for Kingswood coming up.
That's the thing about centre partnerships, isn't it, Dinuk, as we watch this conversion being lined up. And yes, it looks like it's good. So 12 points to 19 at the moment with half-time looming. The thing about centre partnerships is not just how good the individual players are at carrying the ball or taking it forward. It's just about how well they understand each other. And that was a lovely cutback from Seniviratna. He knew exactly what his buddy was going to do. And Shazan knew exactly where Seniviratna was coming from. So he just popped the ball with a brilliant back of the hand offload into his path, and he had the pace to burn Gamunu Chethi into the end zone.
Yeah, as the kickoff now once again, Kingswood would love to finish this half with a try, another score. Here's an opportunity for them. The ball has been knocked back, says the referee.
Rajanayaka on hand to make the clean up there. Nice ball again. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. He does get the legs to go all the way. No, he doesn't. Gamunu Chethi will try and get him, and he does brilliantly. Gamunu Chethi just rips the ball off the opposition. And Shah Nakila that time, or Keshan Kavindu, who's also got a headband now. Smashing into the tackle there was Gedaragoda, along with Chandra Ratna. Good bit of interplay from the Josephian backs there. The game has sprung into life again. And Kingswood now with the ball on the short side manages to get it away to Zoisa, but that time there was a knock on, so they will come back for the penalty.
Again, an interesting knock on Shanaka. If it was an intentional knockdown, referees these days tend to blow a penalty, and of course with a yellow card. If it's even if you just put it down with one hand, if you touch it the second time, you're lucky. You will be lucky to be survived. But Kingswood College, have they turned on to now in that last 5 minutes or so?
If they can get a score just before halftime, it's 35 minutes on the clock, but we've had a few injuries in this half, so there may be a couple of players left. And if Kingswood can get up there and can get a score, wow, this game is going to really light up in the second half. But looking at St. Joseph's, they are the team that have a lot of depth on their bench, so they won't be too worried about the halftime score. They'll know that Kingswood may go away in the second half, especially with this heat. It's not a lot cooler in Kandy, Dinuk, but it's still cooler than it is here, and the humidity. So let's wait and see what the second half has in store, depending on this next couple of minutes of play.
Yeah, the weather in Kandy these days, it has been raining a bit up in the early part of the week. But now it
a
has...
bit of an unfortunate place to have an ice pack. Drag down there, the tackle. Let's watch what happened here. Straight in at the side, says the referee. And it was after that Dinuk spotted the knock-on.
If we can continue that replay for a couple of 5-10 seconds further.
Back live now as they've chosen strangely to tap and go. Kingswood, they've got a lot of faith in their prop forward's ability to create something. And why not? Because they've been good so far. Here's the other prop, Veerasinghe. And again, clearly the prop holding on there. That was great work. That time referee Rohan Fernando not missing the effort by Shehan Eranda to snaffle that ball. Kingswood just a little bit too late to the breakdown. And they're happy to go into the halftime break at 19 points to 12. So you can see that Kingswood had made their presence felt in the last few moments of the game. Siobhan Gregory just telling the referee a few things to look out for in this, the next 35 minutes. But it's been an entertaining game of rugby, Dinuk.
Yeah, it has been, and all credit should go to both teams. The players, Kingswood College, of course, coming out and dishing the rugby that they have been doing so far in this season. Have been surprised by a couple of teams, and Kingswood is one who have surprised a few more A-Division teams this year. And it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to the next 35 minutes or so to come on top of this A-Division game. 19 points to 12. That's the halftime confirmation here at the Havelock Park. There you go, the halftime confirmation. 19 points to 12, St. Joseph's College. 7 points ahead, and Kingswood College 12 points, though they had a lot of possession.
Highlights of that half coming up. We've had a few. And the Kingswood crowd that has travelled down is not in large numbers. I'm surprised there aren't more people at this game though, because it has been one of the better ones this season. Here's the first strive through Keshan Kavinda. Has an eye for the try line, knows how to finish. And that came after St. Joseph's battered away at the Kingswoodian defence. Strung together several phases. Converted also nicely by Santosh Algama, and here's the immediate hit back. Nice little step outside from Dinar Lekanayak, and managed to finish it beautifully. Just dotting the ball down and saying, "Sir, I was in." Here's Rashan Gunawardena Piyathisa stepping back off that trademark left-footed step. And he drew several players to himself, and Keshan Kavinda had plenty to do and managed to do it with aplomb. Here's a break that just couldn't result in a try. Watch Keshan Kavinda on the right of your screen, flying in there for that tackle. Brilliant technique there to knock the ball down. And here's, that's the break from the reverse angle.
Didn't have enough paces in it, Shanaga, to run through, clearly. Of course, wearing a number 9 shirt on his back. And this was Asiri. Thought he would have even tried running cross field there, because he had enough angle to run down Gamanu Chetia. Here's that replay once again. Look at that. He tries to cut back in, but he would have just gone on the outside. He still had support running on.
He never thought he was going to make it, did he, Dinuk? From the time he got the ball and got into space, he never thought he was going to get there, which is the difference with this man's try. Santosh Algama always knew he was going to get there. So it's just a matter of belief sometimes whether you can outpace a defense or not. And Algama has adds the extra points to his first conversion and to the try that he scored. And here's probably the try of the evening for me, with Seni Ratna cutting back on the angle, taking a lovely offload pass from Shazan, and the outside centre going over for the try. So it's 19 points to 12 at halftime, just a one score in it. let's not forget that Trinity College were beaten by Kingswood quite convincingly in the end, although it didn't show on the scoreboard. And it was just one try in it between between Trinity and St. Joseph's as well. So that's our reference point, Trinity College. So this game should really be a cracker in the next 35 minutes. With the legs getting a little tired, we'll wait and see what's going to happen at Havelock Park when we come back on ThePapare.com.
සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය
සතුට බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය
Welcome back. 19 points to 12. Just one score separating both teams. St. Joseph's taking on Kingswood College here at the Havelock Park in the Singers Schools League 2018. We are after the break of the Aurudu holidays. A lot of people still getting to work here in Colombo, but the rugby has not stopped on ThePapare.com. Welcome everybody on ThePapare.com, Dialogue TV and My TV. We're watching this game against St. Joseph's College and Kingswood College. And it has been a nail biter so far. 19 points to 12, and it's going to be exciting 35 coming up, Shanak.
Yes, it certainly is. We have seen St. Joseph's getting quite a bit of input at their halftime huddle. Not as much from the outside for the Kingswood lads. So they should probably have been told to tighten it up first and use that short side before spreading it wide. They've got the runners to cause problems for this Josephian defense. But St. Joseph's, as expected, are in the lead at halftime, and they're looking to consolidate on that. Keshan Carvin, the man you just saw on your screen, scoring a couple of tries. And Rohan Fernando is the man who will control the rest of this game as well. Unfortunately, there was a combination or an interjection from his touch judge, which cost 7 points to Kingswood. St. Joseph's quite lucky, I thought, to get up the field and be able to score that try through the resulting penalty. And then now St. Joseph's defending in the shade as Rashain Gunawardena, the experienced scrum half, puts it nice, high and deep. Good exit from St. Joseph's to calm things down early doors.
Yeah, very good kick there by Santosh, gaining about 40 to 50 meters inside the 22. Nicely slotted, good connection. Had the angle to work with as well. But this is a good opportunity for Kingswood now. If they can start off well in this second half like they finished in the first, this match can go anywhere from here.
Here we go. Kingswood looking to try and take them on in midfield. Straight through goes Zoisa. The clean out is better this time. And oh, that's got to be a yellow card, surely. But it was a complete brain fade from Vishwa Pereira there, lying complete in an offside position on the floor as well. Prevented the ball from being played. And as that is taken up by Gamunu Chetia, the referee will come back for the penalty. I don't think referee Fernando could believe what happened either.
He was shocked for a moment to see what should I do now. It was right on the ball, no ruck there. And it was Vishwa Pereira, who just saw the ball right next to him, thought he could pick and run away with that. And then that guilty face came in right in front of him, and Rohan Fernando had no option but to smile and blow a penalty.
Yeah, he knew immediately, Vishwa. But now they need to try and capitalize on this Kingswood. They can't allow St. Joseph's to get further ahead. Here it is. Just quietly sneaking that ball away from the advancing Sampath. And I thought that he did take the ball away from Sampath, who was trying to hit a gap. And, you know, I've seen yellow cards awarded for less. And here they go botching up the line out again. So that was an important miss for Kingswood. They needed to try and hit back. And they have botched the line out one more time. So this is about 4 lost line outs now for Kingswood on their own ball. And that's not helped their cause at all. They'll be quite happy just to be one score away when you're throwing like that. Chandraratna just didn't lift properly there. The ball was not thrown to the proper pod. Tarinder Dialvis draws and passes. That's a lovely move from St. Joseph's. Referee calling them back. Was it for a forward pass? Well, that's an interesting one. Let's see if we can see it.
Yeah, forward pass. It doesn't matter if it goes forward, as long as the release of the hand goes back. The momentum obviously will carry you forward. There are instances in international games where the meters go for the ball goes forward about 2 to 3 meters in front. That's because of the pace. Here's the replay once again. That angle will not show us exactly how it went off the hand.
If we can take the original angle that we were showing you live, I think we might be able to see it on that. But it is a quick couple of passes at 8, 9, 14 move that they were trying to run. They ran it beautifully, I thought, but just inches in it. Referee Fernando right on the spot, of course. called by the touch judge, was it?
Yeah, the assistant referee had made two crucial calls now. One resulting in 7 points, and this will result in what we'll have to wait and see if Kingswood College can make up for this like the Josephians did.
Gedara bursting off the back of that scrum. Here's the ball bouncing dangerously everywhere. Kingswood trying to swarm over that in a red wave, but holding on is St. Joseph's managing to clear that ball. They've got a penalty coming as well. So that was bad discipline from Kingswood. They should have managed to keep the ball in that area and not attack it too much. Not rolling away, says the referee. There wasn't a tackle there, so I don't know what he had to roll away from.
Nevertheless, escape for St. Joseph's now. If Santosh can put this into touch, Valigampala would have thought for a second if it comes into his hand. There's no one in front marking for St. Joseph's.
Section of the crowd gathered here on this pavilion side at Havelock Park. St. Joseph's very keen to maintain this second position, as Dinuk was saying before the kickoff. They need to hope that St. Peter's or Isipatan or someone can come through and inflict a defeat on Royal, and as a result they have to make sure they don't lose to anyone else. A nice step that time from Shan Akila. Again, Rajanayaka does brilliantly. Superb snaffle of the ball from Rajanayaka, and now they've opened up things up a little bit, opting for the kick, and that's bouncing nicely into touch.
Good advantage played there by referee. It was a neck roll off in that ruck, I believe, but he let it go for some time, and Kingswood had all the opportunity to score something there. Yes, Shanaka, but the other important point on the wins and the losses, that how we'll make up this league we talk about, is Josephians would love to have that bonus point every time they play. That could come in handy as well in the end.
They're one try away from it now, Dinuk, so I'm sure that they will, over the course of the next half an hour or so, manage to get that bonus point. Just remains to be seen whether Kingswood can try and get one as well, because let's remember that they are playing for a higher placing on their resumption in this A division as well.
Yeah, it's opportunity for Kingswood if they beat all the other teams, and if someone manages to beat Royal or St. Peter's, again they could finish on top if they stay unbeaten. Just that one game that they have gone down to, both teams going down to Royal College. You never know.
Yes, there's plenty of rugby still to be played in this league competition. Zoisa will be the target man in the number 5 jersey. Referee Fernando just getting things exactly in order before he allows play to continue. Haven't seen much running from the number 8, Valigampola. Unfortunately for Kingswood, they throw to the front and it's lost forward. So referee may call them back. But Rashan Gunawardena puts his fly half under immense pressure, but the referee will call them back for the knock-on.
Very bad decision. Santosh Algama trying to run across inside his own goal line. Very lucky he had the advantage.
Didn't have another option, did he though, Dinuk? Look at the knock-on there. Unfortunate for Chandraratna, just couldn't hold that ball. Gregory takes it in. Important scrum for Kingswood, and they make the most of it. Tarindudi Alvis does well, but Rajanayaka was not bound. So that's an unfortunate penalty to give away. They've given away penalties in 2 very good attacking positions for them, Kingswood. Their discipline just hasn't been what it needs to be. And Samisha Viranga will now try and calm his team down. His leg is heavily strapped, so clearly he's carrying an injury. We'll just try to make sure his team just close this one out without any more dramas and just get the bonus point they need.
Yeah, exactly. They're working their way up a field slowly but surely, but they have another 30 minutes, rather 25 minutes on the clock to run this clock down before they think of anything else. Once again, line out not that good for St. Joseph's.
Rashayan Gunawardena does really well to palm that ball off to Santosh Algama. No space again. Kingswood's drift defense has been really good. Looks like it's Samisha Viranga who's on the ground there, giving the ball away. That's not a good pass. Completely behind Shazan, but Rajanayaka in fact. But the referee had blown it up before, so Kingswood will have the ball again and have another opportunity. They've had a few cracks, the Rook, in this early part of the second half, but just haven't been able to get a couple of phases together. The discipline has let them down.
Yes, exactly. And if fatigue comes into play later on, that'll be where they'll be really tested. But they need to capitalize on opportunities that they get before that. Get a proper lead. Here's St. Joseph's once again. Still recovering from that royal defeat. Maybe a few of those players. Kingswood College, very relaxed. I like the way Chandra Ratna plays a prop forward. Very relaxed, motivates his team, talk to his team. And we were told that Ronnie Ibrahim has been working behind this Kingswood team, and it would have been there's a good contest. Here's an opportunity now for Kingswood College with Dina Lekanayaka taking the ball into contact.
Nice break from Ekanayaka there. The ruck was clearly formed. Here's Waligampola. Again, Ekanayaka spinning out of a couple of tackles, manages to make the ball available. Chandaratna against the post, and yes, it's a try against the base of the post. Good awareness from Chandaratna there. Excellent awareness. And you saw that decoy angle run by Shazan. Allowed Seniviratna to go on the outside. And we thought he'd ghosted through the gap, but superb defense to come back from Gamanu Chetia and haul him down. But in the end, Rashmika Chandaratna finishes off a good first phase move.
Yeah, we were talking about how good this lad is, Rashmika Chandaratna, the prop forward for Kingswood College. And the awareness, the match awareness, the game awareness about the rules that he knows, straight away off that ruck, went right diving into the post. They screamed at the referee to make sure that the try has been awarded. If this kick goes over, it'll be 19 all with 20 minutes on the clock, just over 20 minutes on the clock. Hirusha Sampath, couple of steps, slots in between the posts, 19 points is deadlock here at the Havelock Park. And now the Kingswood supporters are getting back, most of them working in Colombo. And it's a Friday before heading home. They would love to see a Kingswood win and take these boys back to Kandy.
Well, it's all leveled up now, and Dulanjana Piyatis's absence being felt by St. Joseph's, I think, Dinuk. That's Chandaratna, goes against the base of the post. So the rule is that if you ground it against the ground and the padding, it's still a try, although it's about 6 inches short. And referee Fernando right on the spot to see it. Let's watch it here again. Watch the big prop. Chandaratna goes against the post, and there he goes, just grounding it against the padding, screaming at the referee from underneath there. Sir, I've got it now. And Fernando gives the try. Well-deserved try from Kingswood as well. They've managed to get third time lucky. And now St. Joseph's will have to hit back with Samisha Viranga needing to take control.
These little breaks is what is making Kingswood a bit dicey when they start off after that. Once they take a break, it takes some time for them to come into the groove.
So they managed to tend to their injured player. It's like it's Madhuranga who's been in the wars a little bit. Kingswood managed to retain possession at that restart, which has been a problem for them previously, and now John Ganegoda flying into that Sachin ThePapare, in fact, flying into that ruck. Kingswood putting it straight down the field, and a knock forward from Gamanu Chetia. That's a big miss and knocks it on the second time as well. So the skipper, or the senior player rather, everyone rushing to him to console him, but he knows that could have been a costly miss. Can Kingswood capitalize? This is the pass coming in from Samisha Viranga to Gamanu Chetia. It's a pass that they would have made hundreds of times in training. But Chetia in the unaccustomed position at fullback, just not able to catch it. You can see him shaking his head and realizing how much of a miss that was.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Kingswood. If they can score here, it'll put Josephs mentally down. And both crowd now getting behind this goal. Here's a great opportunity.
Ball shooting out of that scrum. And smashed into the tackle. Rajanayaka does really well. Puts the little kick in. That was from the scrum half, Hirusha Sampath. Recovered well after that ball shot out.
Look at that. Spotted space at the back, puts the kick behind. Valigampolo chasing it. Knows that he can't catch. And look at this hit. Rajanayaka. Two players have come up strong, set the example for Kingswood Colleges. Today's Rashmika Chandraratna and Rajanayaka. They've made the tackles felt by the opponent and also set an example for the Kingswood defensive line to come up and know when to tackle exactly. Sometimes they let go, just let them run across field and then push him in, push the player into touch, but they know exactly when to tackle, and when those tackles are made, it's hard, very hard.
The next 20 minutes is going to be about who wants it more. Just a few words being exchanged. Gedaragoda there, having a chat with his opposite number. Rajanayaka has been a real rock for this Kingswood team in defense. Made a few mistakes with the ball in hand, but my goodness, he's been everywhere. So now it's all to play for. Can the second placed title aspirers try and get this and repel this Kingswood attack? This is an important line out. And Cheka Jayawardena will look to try and steal this John Ganegoda as well. Nicely lifted by Zoisa. And taken away is Veerasinghe. Veerasinghe popping the ball inside. That's a beautiful pass that Rajanayaka somehow manages to hold on to. Superb work. And now just about 5 meters short. Here's the try scorer, Chandraratna. Still shouting directions from the bottom of that ruck. Pick up and go again. The big men are doing the business for Kingswood. They've got some fresh legs on as well. The clean out needs to be good. But excellent defense from St. Joseph's there. Beautiful work from Tarindu Madhuranga, who's right in the thick of things. The ball goes backwards from Dina Lekanayaka. Manages to get it away to Shazan. It's still available from Hirusha Sampath. And is this going to be a try? Yes, it is. My goodness. No, it's knocked forward, is it? In front of the kicker, says referee Rohan Fernando. And that's a really bad miss for Insham, who's come onto the field, and he was in front of the kicker. And they want the penalty, of course, where the ball was collected. Such a shame for Kingswood, who almost had that, but St. Joseph's lived to breathe another day.
Yeah, what a passage of play. As the play continues, we won't have time to reflect on how good that bit of play by Kingswood was.
I don't understand why St. Joseph's have done this. They've tapped and gone. When they had a penalty, they just needed to go up the field. And Kingswood now will try and have a second bite of the cherry. Really good defense on Samisha Viranga there. And again, referee blowing it up. Not sure what that was for. Let's have a wait and see. He's talking to the number 6. Not sure what exactly, whether he was offside or whether it was for the high hit. If we can have a replay, we'll tell you exactly what it was. And Santosh Algama this time will make the sensible decision to knock this into touch. So yes, it was offside from Avishka Purnajit, who has conceded 10 meters or 12 meters that his team just did not need to concede. But St. Joseph's that time, calmer heads prevailed. They were flirting with real danger there. Here's the kick put forward from the scrum half and just in front of the kicker. So knock on from the Joes. And is this all imploding? Is the pressure a little too much for St. Joseph's?
Not 5 meters in that line of St. Joseph's. Opportunity, great opportunity for Kingswood College.
Well, they tapped and went once just before half time, and they've got these big lads. You can join us on the breakdown. Don't forget, we'll be previewing or reviewing this game and many more on the breakdown. You can join me as we look back at the weekend of the schools rugby league. So plenty to talk about next week. Of course, we'll have the Bradby and this game, which is turning out to be probably the game of the weekend. We'll talk about all that and more on the breakdown.
Here's Sampat now trying to spin this ball wide.
Lovely step inside from Dina Lekanayaka, but can't get away from the second line of defense. Again, Hirusha Sampath puts it up high, put back, and somehow the Kings would still have the ball. It's gone backwards, says the referee. No, he's got his arm out, and it will probably be a knock on. And that one was charged down, was it? No, but they'll come back for the knock forward there.
St. Joseph's looking a bit out of sorts, isn't it, Shanaka? They need to get into where they are good about, get the structures right, get the forwards play, and then let their backs run loose. But that's where they're dangerous at. They have players like Chetia, Akila, who can make something out of nothing. You see here, there's not a scrum half who's passing that. That takes a lot of time. And Kingswood College have shown that they're good chasers of kicks. Not only field kicks, even the place kicks that they have disrupted today. So St. Joseph's need to get this right. Here's opportunity now once again, not kicking out, trying to run from their own 22 in goal line. Algama gives the ball out, quick passes. If they can make this tackle right, here's St. Joseph's now, a great opportunity, a big hit.
Now that's a no-arms tackle, and the referee hasn't said anything. That is a tackle that was worthy of a yellow card. And I cannot believe that they've called the one that we saw earlier and not this one. Dinuk, I just cannot believe this. That was a dangerous tackle. It should probably see red.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. Player is not moving. He's just still there. If we can see a replay of that and to see who exactly that player who made an impact was of Kingswood College.
There was certainly no arms, and it was a brilliant break from Tarindu Maduranga, I believe it is. Lovely step out of that tackle, and here it is coming forward. Smash. Well, to be fair, he did try and wrap his arms. I may have been way too hasty in my judgment.
I think it was a point of contact. His shoulder hit his nose or head.
Yeah, but it's still dangerous, Dinuk, and it's still probably going to see a card. It wasn't as malicious as I thought when I first saw it, but it really did make a massive impact. And poor old Maduranga has had severe problems today. He's had several injuries, and unfortunately it looks like he's probably going to have to get taken off. Was shoulder on face, and there's zero tolerance for that.
Yeah, here's the replay once again. Straight under the point of that shoulder hitting Maduranga's face, and he bounces off, and that head knock would have caused even more damage for Harsha Maduranga. Two players are out. Dulanjana Piyatissa and Harsha Maduranga both out.
Two massive injuries, two huge injuries for St. Joseph's. Not just for this game, they might still pull this game off, Dinuk, but going forward with Piyatissa and Maduranga, that's going to be a big problem if these guys are not available for them.
Yeah,
Especially with Samisha Viranga looking injured as well.
if they pull this game off, they might play Isipatana or Wesley from the other side up front. So that's going to be, from here on, the second round clashes are going to be heavyweights. You won't get any off days. So Maduranga stands up. He's a strong lad. He stands up. He's walking out. I think he still has to go through HIA for sure. He cannot play this game.
Well, there's no way that the St. Joseph's authorities should allow him to come back. He looks very groggy. There is no way the doctor should allow him to play. I'm sorry, but safety needs to come first. And he's a tough lad, but there's no way he can continue in this game, not after that knock. You can see the doctor almost pleading with him to come off, and Maduranga saying, no, I've got to come on. And this is where the coach or whoever needs to step in and say, no, he's got to go off. I'm sorry, but this is non-negotiable. The other players should not be doing this. I'm sorry, that's just not acceptable. That's not acceptable. They certainly shouldn't be tapping him on his head to congratulate him. That was a bad knock, and he was out for a few seconds. I'm sorry. The referee needs to take control of this as well, and he needs to say, we've got to follow the doctor's orders.
HIA is important, very important. He may be okay now. Couple of steps that he runs, another point of contact, it can be very dangerous, very dangerous. It takes a week for you to do something, even to get into contact sports after concussion. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Look at that. He's not 100%. He's not 100% for sure.
Yeah, he's got to go off, and this is sensible from Samisha Viranga, who brings him off, and Dinuk Vijayaratna as well, who's the head of the advisory committee of St. Joseph's. Good to see him actually getting on and making sure that the player goes off and that they're more interested in the safety of the players. That's a really good message to send. And referee Rohan Fernando has done well to ensure that he goes off and at least has the HIA, Dinuk. He's at least got to go off and have the HIA, and he can come back in 2 minutes if that's okay. But he's got to go off and have it. There's no necessity for you to stay out the full 10 minutes. You can come back sooner, but you have to have the HIA.
What he has done, has he managed the referee to forget the incident and focus on his concussion problems?
Well, it was a shoulder to the face, so he'll be very lucky to escape without a card. It was the number 26, Ishara Kure. To be fair to him, he was not... It didn't look like he was trying to injure Maduranga. He looked like he was trying to wrap his arms, but it was just a really unfortunate situation, but still reckless. And Ishara Kure is very lucky not to get at least a yellow card in this match. Johan Anjana has replaced Maduranga for the moment. We are not sure whether it's a permanent replacement or not, but they're playing the knock on. Yes. Not even a penalty. Interesting.
Yeah, you say even if it's a mistake, if you go above shoulder level, it's a penalty minimum. And even if you slip off starting a tackle from your chest and go above shoulder, it's a penalty again minimum. How many times have we seen that? Shocking.
Plenty of international players would want to come and play some rugby here in Sri Lanka if they can get away with that stuff. Off the back goes Gedaragoda. Puts the head in there and takes the tackle. Holding on is the call from referee Fernando. Gedaragoda tries to argue his case, but he won't be the first player to be chased away. St. Joseph's now getting behind their team, the Josephian crowd. They know that 19 points all is not going to cut the mustard for them. They need to have the bonus. The Kingswood crowd also now trying to join in the cheering. There's a sizable number of them who opted out of staying in the sun. who has the most gas in this last few moments of the game. Viranga now, the experienced man, knows that he needs to lead from the front, injury or not. Stepping is Shan Akila. They've held him up. The fresh legs of Kingswood made a difference. Finally dragged to ground, and the ball becomes available. Here's the big forward pod with Siobhan Gregory and John Ganegoda. Again, excellent tackling from Tumula Veligampala, the other Veligampala, and that's another high hit. Referee letting it go, so they really need to make sure they keep it down now, Kingswood. Not lose a player in the process. Coming back inside, Keshan Kavind, can he be the hat-trick hero for his team? Pick up and go, that's Cheka Jayawardena. Soiza manages to put him out.
If we have to comment on the performance today of Kingswood, that's defense, isn't it, Shark? Every time that Joseph thrown the kitchen sink at them, they managed to hold on. Tackles, as I spoke before, has been very hard. Yes, they've crossed the line a couple of times. Lucky to them, they survived. But yes, those Rajanayaka and Rashmika Chandraratna leading from the front. Kingswood College in massive advantage here with no key players in the Josephian line.
Good hit there, that time from St. Joseph's. And now a little bit of space, an overlap opening up now. Dumming going back inside, and that was probably the right call because the drift was good. Straight in from the side. Straight in at the side, that's the correct call, although the crowd don't seem to like it. You need to come through the gate.
3 points is the call from the Kingswood camp. Does Asiri... Oh, it's Sampath, Hirusha Sampath. Yes, it is Hirusha Sampath.
Well, they've got 40 meters to go. I think they should probably go for touch, because you're just going to give the ball back to St. Joseph's if you manage to get this even close. But looks like they're confident.
You never underestimate a Kingswood kicker, Shanakar. There are plenty of them in their ranks.
Nalaka Virakodi is the name that is above all names there. You can see that's totally in from the side. There's no question from... And from Shamisha Viranga as well. That's just a brain fade. So this is Hirusha Sampath, the dynamic little scrum half, who's opted to go to the boot plenty of times in this game, Dinuk. So he's a guy who knows what it's like to kick the ball, who has some confidence. And this could be a deadly important kick for Kingswood season, and as much of an important kick for St. Joseph's season. Will we see a draw, the first draw of the game of the season so far? Sampath thumps it. It's a big kick. It's a good kick, and it's just over the line. What a massive kick from Hirusha Sampath. It's all happening here at Havelock Park.
Come on, George!
Kicks it deep, trying to get into space. And now again, Kingswood have a few numbers back. They need to try and get this ball away. Ishara Kure dragged into touch. And now, do St. Joseph's want this as bad as their crowd does? The Hornets go up in one voice. It's all buzzing here at Havelock Park, and with 9 minutes left to play, this is for second place in the Division 1A group. Both teams desperate to hold on to the one-loss tag. Can this heavy Josephian pack maul their way to the line? They almost did it in the first half.
It's always nice to be a neutral in these types of games. 22 points to 9. What a kick it was from Hirusha Sampath. Here's the time for the Josephians to reply now.
Yes, a thunderous kick, but as a result of that kick, they were too busy celebrating, didn't get back in time, Dinuk. They got caught napping that time. And again, really good awareness from St. Joseph's to realize that that's where the space was and attack it immediately. Navin De Silva is the man at number 2 in the Josephian line-out. He's the tallest. Will he go? Yes, he does. The ball has unfortunately been dropped there, so they can't maul their way to the line. And Kingswood will be happy to concede a penalty here if they don't have to concede a try. Good work from the Josephian pack, the fresh legs impacting the game now. Here's a short side, there's an overlap available, and this is Keshan Kavinda. Yes, he's in for the try. Keshan Kavinda gets his hat-trick. And he's the saviour for St. Joseph's. There's still 7 minutes left to play with a difficult conversion coming up. And it's all happening here, but that's the bonus point. And Keshan Kavinda can do no wrong today.
Yeah, hat-trick for him. What a day he's having, Keshan Kavinda. Give him a meter on the outside. He has scored. Kingswood have been shutting him out, except for the 2 tries he scored from inside the 10-meter mark. Once again, he gets into it. Here's the replay once again on the other angle. Lovely draw and pass. Lot of space on the outside to Keshan Kavinda. It's that man again, Sampath, who comes around, but it was a bit too much for him and went too high above the shoulder again. Lucky if St. Joseph's have to, if Kingswood get away with a penalty on the restart, Shanaka.
Well, penalty on the restart if only if the offence is after the try has been scored, Dinuk. So I think they might just survive that one. But yes, again, it was a bit of a high hit, and Kingswood quite lucky that the referee hasn't had a look at that. And it's good. What a wonderful display of place kicking from both kickers. We had Santosh Algama, who scored the try and converted from a tight angle. Keshan Kavinda's first try, he's done almost exactly the same thing this time around as well, and put a little bit of daylight in between him, his team, and the Marauders from Kingswood. 26 points to 22, 6 minutes on the clock. What more is in store in this game? We've had drama, we've had players refusing to go off, we've had high tackles, we've had touch judge interventions. We've had everything happening so far. Here's Shazan. You can see the determination writ on his face. Goodness, Dinuk, picking a man of the match is going to be a real tough task in this game.
Don't expect me to help on that, Shanaka. It looks like on the outside, Madhuranga still wants to continue to play. They're having a tough time. The authorities keeping him out of the game as the game continues.
Samisha Viranga, who conceded that penalty, he would be a relieved man. And now St. Joseph's just need to play a percentage game. They need to be sensible. Ball knocked. Nice pick up that time from Gedaragoda, who gives the pass away. Nicely done by Kingswood. They needed to give that ball, and that looked like it went forward off the hand. Needed to spin it wide the first time. So St. Joseph's crowd looking really tense. Here's the ball. And it looked like it came off a Josephian hand. Ganegoda asking for the knock on, and referee Fernando buying it. Rajanayaka needs to stay bound. Does that time Sanchit Pereira. Good tackle from Rajanayaka again. Good hit from Veerasinghe, the big prop forward. The Kingswood props have been good today. Algama coming back for going off their feet, and that may have been the last time that they get to do that, Kingswood, because St. Joseph's will be quite happy to just thump this and stay in the opposition territory. How much more time, says Samisha Viranga. You see the Kingswood player getting up off the ground. Well, we have to think of a man of the match here, and usually the man of the match comes from the winning side. And if we assume the score is going to be the same, St. Joseph's will end up winning it. But there haven't been standout performances from St. Joseph's. Keshan Kavindo, of course, is the obvious name in that he scored a hat-trick of tries. Good tackle there made by Purnajit.
Another knock forward, another opportunity for Kingswood.
Well, it's all happening here, isn't it? None of the teams want to hold on to the ball, and I can't understand why St. Joseph's are spinning this wide. They need to keep it close and just play the phases. Chaitya, not a great pass for Shah Nakila to handle there.
Shanaka, are we going to make a bold decision and go for the best defender?
Well, I think he's been outstanding today, Rajanayaka. He's been everywhere. He's carried the ball. He's defended well. He's turned the ball over. He almost had a try that was he was just brought down in a cover tackle. And I think he's kept Kingswood in this game for as long as he has. And it's really been a superb performance from him. So Rajanayaka will be my man of the match. Little bit of a slip from Gavinu Chaitya, but manages to get over the line, and he'll dot it down for the 22 dropout. Hirusha Sampath just overcooking that a little.
So it's been one of those matches. A defensive effort has won the man of the match, regardless of the try scored. Here's Hirusha Sampath just putting too much weight on that ball. Chaitya slipping down.
Just a little bit less on it would have had Chaitya in trouble. But he just managed to get over the line before he touched it down. It was so close. It's been a game of inches today. And now we have Gunatilaka trying to run it. Here's Ishara Kure. The Josephian bench has really made an impact in this game. They've piled into the breakdowns. And that's an unfortunate penalty. Really unfortunate penalty. Thought that St. Joseph's were the ones who left their feet in that, but thought it was quite lucky that Kingswood conceded that penalty there. Chandaratna doesn't want to hear it. It's the 70th minute, he says. So this will probably be the last play of the game.
There's our man of the match, the number 7 of Kingswood, Rajanayaka.
All they needed to do was to find touch. And they've got a few minutes left, so anything could still happen technically. But I think whatever does happen, Chanitha Rajanayaka has been really a standout performer today. It's not often a guy who scores a hat-trick doesn't get the man of the match, but he's had 3 touches, a couple of good cover tackles. Keshan Kavindo, he deserves an honourable mention, but Rajanayaka's effort just has been a little bit more.
Nilufer Ibrahim will want to have his backs out of the park now. Just keep the ball with the forwards, and that's what the Josephians are doing rightly. So
Ganegoda walks into the Kingswood defence. Looking to spread it one more time. And that's a great ball. Stepping inside, can they get their 5th try? That's a nice break by Johan Anjana, who replaced Madhuranga. St. Joseph's, can they finish with a flourish? Here's the pushback. But St. Joseph still have the ball with them. Siobhan Gregory has done well today. Grimacing at the bottom of that ruck. An obstruction, says the referee. That's an interesting call. They tapped and gone. Here's Rajanayaka. Nice little pop ball to Gunitilaka. Gunitilaka kicks the ball away. I don't know why he chose to do that. And now Gamunu Chetia will have a final opportunity in this game. Good work from Kingswood to try and jackal that ball, but nothing coming their way. Still plenty of fight left in them, but St. Joseph's look like they've got control of this now. And as I say that, they've let the ball go through the legs, but it went backwards, and Shan Akila will try and power his way towards the line. Again, St. Joseph's opting to spin the ball. They really need to keep this close. Just play the phases. Still one score in it. Veerasinghe still going after the ball. The big prop forward in the 70th minute. Looking for touch. That was an excellent kick. Really good kick from Samisha Viranga. And that looks like it's the game and it's the end. Yes, 26 points to 22. What a game we've had here at Havelock Park. 2 versus 3 in Division 1A, and Kingswood have certainly not disgraced themselves. But St. Joseph's can count themselves lucky despite the injuries to come through and win that game. It's an outstanding effort from the Josephians in the last 10 minutes, Dinuk, where they really controlled it and their bench poured in and made sure that they didn't allow Kingswood to run away with that. Hirusha Sampath in the number 21 jersey briefly gave his side a glimmer of hope when he knocked over a 42-meter penalty. But in the end, it was not enough.
Yeah, what a game it was. It has turned out to be. There you go, Rajanayak on your face. Kingswood players, some of them, Hirusha Sampath is in tears after that. They have to blame themselves after trying to celebrate after that penalty. They have the game in control. And credit to St. Joseph's who have come back, kept the game within reach and scored in that try in the end. But what a performance by both teams.
Keshan Kavinda, an outstanding effort on the left wing. 3 tries he scored. But Kingswood have been excellent. And St. Joseph's below par, I would think. They would have expected to come in and win this game a little bit more comfortably. But even away from home, Kingswood proving a real threat. Nilufar Ibrahim making sure he takes the time to congratulate the opposition as well as his own team. He'll be a relieved man, Anuranga Walpola, whose forwards made the difference in the end, Dinuk, because when the St. Joseph's bench came on, that's when things started to change. That's when they received the ascendancy once again in that last 10 minutes or so. And in the face of that, those big powerful forwards with their fresh legs, 26-22 was as close as the Kingswoods could get. And St. Joseph's got their bonus, which was something that they desperately needed before this game.
Yeah, agree 100%. Full-time score, 26 points to 22. Yes, Shanaka, when the forwards were keeping, and the positive play that we have to comment on Kingswood is that even when we were thinking it's 70 minutes up, keep the ball within the forwards, they were still trying to make out, trying to score tries. Here's the highlights of the second half. Rashan Gunawardana spinning that ball out. Keshan Kavinda, that was the hat-trick.
That's the first try. I think
First
it's the highlights of the whole game.
And the conversion coming out good in the first try for St. Joseph's College. And then Kingswood hit back soon. This one going up to the TMO. But Dinal Ekanayaka scoring that try once again. Good balance shown there to cut back in, cut back out and score that try. This was Piatissa stepping off inside, making the break. And for the second time, this time he made no mistake by giving the ball away to Keshan Kavinda to score his second. Dina Lekanayaka couldn't do much. This was an opportunity and in the end couldn't make it.
Gunatilaka it was, and Keshan Kavinda with a wonderful cover tackle there as well to add to his 3 tries. Saved a try for his team for sure. And here's the break from Asiri Seneviratna. Gamunu Chethi at that time getting back to make an important tackle, and Rajanayaka just dropping the ball when he was hammered from behind as well in a lovely cover. And then it was off that call from the assistant referee. That's when Santosh Algama scored his try.
Kick was good. And then Kingswood had a superb passage of play. This was, I think, the best of the tries in the game so far. It had so much in it. And to outnumber those two centres in front of you who have been the season favourites, should be the second, with the Royal combination being the number one. And these two have been no short of talent, isn't it, Shanaka?
Yes, I thought Sachin and Sachin the Senivaratna were excellent. And here's a try scored by Chandra Ratna. Really good awareness from the big prop to try and ground it against the base of the post. And referee Fernando on hand for that 7-pointer.
And this was once again, it was Sampath who put that kick behind. That's Rajanayaka. Look at him. This is why. Not a lot of number sevens that you get to comment in this Sri Lankan rugby format. But he's one, and he looks solid for the future, isn't it?
Yes, he's a little small though. Let's see where the incident occurred. That's the hit from Ishara Kure on Heshan Maduranga, who was out cold for a few seconds. You can watch it here. He does try to wrap his arms, but he needs to go a lot lower. And the change in the laws has been to make players go lower, and I'm surprised that he escaped without a card there. Samish Aviranga also conceding that penalty that Sampath knocked over. Sampath may be a little bit too eager to go to the boot when he's got room on the outside, Dinuk. That's probably the only criticism of his play so far. But you can see the Kingswood crowd going absolutely wild when they took the lead very briefly, 22-19.
And then Keshan Kavinda came back again to score that try and take the lead. What a match. I think one of the best matches in this season so far. Keep aside the Royal St. Joseph's game with all the hype, but this, I think, stands on top. Shanaka.
Well, I had no doubt it was going to be one of those games, Dinuk. I think we were talking last week and I said, watch out for this game. It's going to be a cracker. And indeed it was. And St. Joseph's crowd, the Hornets, completely relieved there. They can smile now, but just for a few moments in that game, they were with their hearts in their mouths. But a superb performance from Kingswood travelling down to Colombo, trying to hold on to that second spot. They failed at this time of asking, but they will be a handful for the teams on the other side of the draw. 19 points to 12 at halftime, 22 points to 19 at the 64th minute, and 26-22 is how it finished. Janita Rajanayaka of Kingswood, our man of the match today. But a superb performance from St. Joseph's in the end, emptying their bench and making sure that they held on to that slender lead and scored the devastating try and the bonus point when they needed it. So coming back and responding well to the pressure, the Josephians, showing why for now they're the second place team in this league, or the second best team in this league. Can they hold on to that tag? Then they climb higher. Will they drop lower? All to play for in this 2018 league. We'll be back with the Bradby and a lot more coming up.
There you go, Trinity College taking on Royal College tomorrow. That's the first leg of the Bradby Shield encounter, and that'll be a league game as well. Then we have St. Peter's taking on DS Senanayaka. That's also tomorrow. Zaira taking on Dharmaraja at Zaira Grounds. And then St. Anthony St. Thomas up in Nithawela on the 24th of April on a Tuesday evening, 4 p.m. at Nithawela. Very unusual to have a game there, but it's going to be a nail-biter as well.
Well, yes, that's going to be an important game for both teams because they'll carry points forward into the next round. Both teams have been relegated, but it's a scrap to stay up in the A division. Rugby bit here every Tuesday at 6:30. Don't forget to join us for that, where we summarize the entire league in Sinhala for you, and the breakdown with me every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. as well, and the try of the week every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And you'll see a couple of tries from here being discussed as the try of the week for sure, unless Royal and Trinity and some of the other teams come up with some crackers in the other games that we've been showing you. So live on ThePapare.com, Dialogue and My TV, we have come to the end of this broadcast from Kingswood versus St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's once again winning a very, very close game, 26 points to 22. Congratulations to them. The Saints go marching on. How far will they keep on marching? Thanks for joining us from Dinuk Bhaskaran and myself and the rest of the production crew from the Havelock Park. It's goodbye for now.
බෙදන නම
ඔබ ළඟ රැඳි නම
සැනසුම දෙන නම
එය සිංහ නම
මිහිර මවන නම
අවස නිවන නම
සෙනෙහ බෙදන නම
එය සිංහ නම මුළු පවුලට සතුට සදන සිංහ අති විශිෂ්ට විශ්වාසය